Hola, buenos dias. And welcome back to the Rich Hart Show. I have one of my favorite people in the world with me today. Angel Fabian Rivera
Yes.
in the house. Welcome, my boss friend. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me here.
This is going to be a great time. All right,
Thank
great
you.
time. We first met at a Georgia. We're down here in Atlanta, okay?
Yeah.
And so we first met at one of Randy Davidson's Georgia entertainment events, okay? And so it was funny. Randy turned around. He goes, "Rich, do you know Angel?" And I said, "No, Angel, Rich Angel." And then he ran off. He just ran off.
He just left.
And I was like, "What? What you got?" So we started talking. We were talking a little bit about what you're doing. We were talking about your Fossil Fuel Café. Mm-hmm. We were talking about indies and everything else like this, the indie film and the industry, and said what you're doing and your goals, your objectives, and really reaching out to, quote unquote, the Latino community. I love what you're doing, okay? Because I think talent and content and story, human entertainment, all comes and bridges into for what you really believe in, okay? Yes. And our conversation was you really live what you believe, okay?
Yes, I
Native
do.
of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico en la casa, boricua. I mean, you know about Bad Bunny today, right? So I'm like, if you want to see the real Bad Bunny, he's here.
Fabian.
There it is, Fabian.
But here's, Angel, this is, I think, folks themselves, Atlanta is moving at such a rate of high speed right now. When we're talking about film and indies, and we're talking about really bringing in some talent. Okay, and engaging. LA had their time, and they probably will in the next 200 years. And New York has their position, and everything else is.
Had it.
Georgia, Atlanta, just the whole Georgia area. Let's just say the Southeast, okay, it's really come leaps and bounds when it comes down to working and developing this relationship. So the bigger studios going in. You want to sleep here, you can't sleep here. All right,
but I want to, but you don't let me put a bed in here for some reason.
At GMS Global Media Studios. All right, that's a shameless plug. But I think, Angel, I think it's extremely important for the viewers themselves to really understand who you are, okay, and what your goal is, and what your real focus is. And I think it's extremely important, especially from the indie community, especially from the Latino community.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. And that was actually the reason why I moved here. Back in 2022, I did my first movie with Lionsgate as an actor.
Good.
Right? I got a role in a Lionsgate film with Gerard Butler, My Culture, like you name it. Like it was amazing. I was in my area, in my pool. I felt like home, right? Good. I felt like I was in the right place, in the right position. I come from the theater world, right? So I always thought I was going to be in Broadway. But then dreams change, right? Dreams keep changing, and you keep finding ways to make something up. But I did that first movie that opened the doors for me. I met a lot of people from Georgia. We filmed that in Puerto Rico,
good people.
Actually. Yeah.
Even though we're transplants.
Exactly. Yeah. So we did that in Puerto Rico, and people told me about the industry in Georgia. And I said, you know what? I've always wanted to try it out outside of my comfort zone. Right. So I just said, you know what? Let's just go to the States.
Good.
And I moved directly from Puerto Rico to Georgia. But when I came here, Rich, I realized that we were at the bottom of the list, right? As Latinos.
Let's just say an increasing opportunity of a tier to raise above the crowd.
And that's what I saw, right? I was like, where do I feel like I fit in? I was trying to find my place. And it took me a second to really understand that, right? Yeah. And really see that there is an opportunity here to do something more, right? Latinos are increasing in Georgia. There's 1.1 million Latinos here in Georgia. It's crazy. Like we are moving here. We're coming from everywhere. There's Latino families that have been like going up here for years.
Yeah, right.
And I saw that. I saw the need, right? I saw what other communities were doing. And I said to myself, what else can I do to help my community here? What else can I do than just act? Because I don't want just to be an actor all my life. I want to do something more.
Right, add more value.
Yeah, add more value to it. I always said, like, I meant for something more, right?
Good.
I meant to connect. I meant to bridge that gap. I meant to bring that and see things that not necessarily everybody's seeing at the time, but like thinking in the future. That's what I want to build, right? When I came here, a lot of opportunities opened up because I was the Latino in the room, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity to learn, to be in the space, to add my voice to it, and increase our who we are. And I got the opportunity to host New York Latino Film Festival just because of what I was doing here.
Great start.
Yes. Then I came back here and I started doing other festivals and learning in the inside, right? Like what is happening. I wanted to talk to my Latinos. I started a podcast where I interview the Latinos here who are in the entertainment industry because I wanted to know where are they? What's happening?
Right.
Where can we be better?
What's their position? Where are they in the film and entertainment world? And I think extremely important because we've seen a tremendous amount of changes over the many years. And a lot of those actors themselves and actresses and those in that field, didn't really get the recognition.
No. I know a guy who moved here in the 80s from Mexico. That guy has been working nonstop since the 80s. Nobody knows necessarily who he is today.
I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know who he is, right? But he's been working nonstop, commercials, voiceovers, film stuff here in Georgia.
That's great.
That's where he has had his career.
Establish the roots.
Yeah, and that's it. So there is people here doing it, and I wanted them to also see where they are, like also for them to recognize what they've done for us because they've opened the doors, somehow. And we have to recognize them. We have to see them, and we have to understand what they had to go through in order to see where we are right now, and then to see the problem and find solutions, right? Like, how can we make this better?
Sure.
How can we build something stable? How can we build something strong that can last for years?
Yeah. So how's that working out?
Right now I'm stepping into that point. Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So,
what are you currently working on right now?
So I'm working right now on developing my own TV sitcom. It's called Fossil Fuel Café.
Wow, check that out. Where'd you get the name from?
Fossil Fuel Café. So I used to work in a dinosaur museum. Yes. So I used to work in this traveling dinosaur. It was a traveling dinosaur museum.
Wow, it's like the flea circus.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I used to be a performer there too, and I used to
at the flea circus.
At the circus. It felt like a circus. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like a circus. But I used to be a puppeteer there, and I used to work with real fossils. And kids will come to me and they would say, "You don't know anything about that fossil," and here's because. And then they will like tell you everything about that dinosaur, and you'd be like, "What? Am I supposed to know that? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? You told me yes."
That's part of the job requirement.
Yeah,
all right?
Literally.
Google.
Yeah, Google. Tell me what's right and what's wrong, please, because I don't know what to tell these kids.
Yeah, right.
But these kids would come with like this huge amount of information. I was like, okay. So I experienced a lot. I did the tour in the West Coast. So I went to a lot of different states for months. And that was a crazy experience. Let me tell you that. Like, we used to load in and load out all the big dinosaurs as well and prepare a whole scenario for them. It was crazy. Like let me tell you, like the load out, it took us like hours to take all that stuff out back in the van. And then we would drive in the middle of the night. I'm like,
Fabian the Fossil Man.
Fabian the Fossil Man, come here, please, and fix this. That was me, That was me. But yeah, I and I've always been a lover for sitcoms. Like I love sitcoms more than anything. Sitcoms taught me English.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. Like growing up, like I used to watch these English speaking shows, and my brother would look at me and was like, "What are you doing? Like, do you even understand what they're saying?" And I'm like, well, I don't know. I see them laughing. I'm just going to laugh and follow them. And that was the way for me.
You pick up the dialect, pick up the syllables and the words and everything else like this, and before you know it. All right, we're having this conversation right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And, and a lot of these sitcoms used to have a lot of physical comedy, which is something that I love. Okay. Like, I love physical comedy. There is something that you're showing something more, even if you don't understand what they're saying specifically. Sure. And and I love that language because it's a language that we speak in the comedy world, right? Like, something can be funny to everyone, even if you don't understand what they're saying in the moments. So that for me was a huge impact in who I am, right?
That's right.
So coming back today, I was like, wait, what if, also like I always wanted to see what happened inside the Friends Cafe. I don't know if you watch Friends. Yeah. They had a cafe that they used to go.
Yeah.
So I always wonder what was their day-to-day life like working in that cafe.
Drinking coffee.
Yeah. Right? Like what else
Shooting the
happened?
breeze.
Like you're drinking coffee and then you like, you're fighting these Karens, screaming at you or whatever.
Sure.
So I wanted to see what else, how else could you live in that world, right? Like what else happened?
Okay.
So I started writing, I started writing, developing that idea of like what else happens in that show. So I got into Series Fest here in Atlanta, Georgia, to pitch the show at Trilith Studios.
Good.
For the State of the Industry event.
Good, yep.
Which I was one of 3 finalists to pitch the show in front of a live audience, get live feedback, and that live feedback was the start of everything.
Oh, good. So look at that. Start. Yep.
That was the moment for me to
Pandora's
be like,
box.
Yeah. That was like, you need to think about this, and I was like, okay, I got it. So I started developing the show. I structure 8 seasons, 22 episodes. I've written 6 episodes right now. The pilot episode is done. But what I want to create here is more than just let me write a show and just do it. I want to create a space for writers to come in and bring their ideas, which we call a writer's room, which we don't have in Atlanta.
That's right.
Right now. That's an LA thing. So how can we bring something that already exists, bring it here, and create something different, create something that everybody can be part of it, right? Like I want to create something for the community, but by the community at the same time, because it's not all my ideas. I want to be able to bring my people and bring different ideas, different thoughts, and then let's add and make this show even better.
Yeah, you said something that Southern Bridges, a great deal of opportunity, all right, and you said community.
Yeah.
All right. Community. And I think the community itself really needs to jump in. I mean, there's many different individuals that have different types of skills and talents and resources that they pull from. Some folks themselves, they'll say to themselves, well, I don't think I could ever do that. Okay. I'm saying now, at this day and age, knock it out. All right. Knock it out. Give yourself a chance. Yeah. Give yourself an opportunity out there. Don't go to the poorhouse.
Yeah.
But, still, maintain the eating. All right. That's 100%. But I'm just really looking at this the same. Atlanta is just such a breeding ground. All right, for this opportunity, why not? I don't think people themselves are going to be just like you. I can tell you're a little shy,
Am I?
Yeah, very much. Not at all. But I think that the fact itself, the steps that you took, all right, from Puerto Rico, okay, to Georgia, okay, there was 52 other states that says you could have gone to, okay?
Literally.
All right, but why Georgia?
Because LA, I was seeing what LA was going through.
Yeah, okay. All right.
New York, I've never seen myself like living the life of New York, but I saw the opportunity in Georgia again, because I heard so many things about Georgia is starting to do something, right? Georgia is starting to do something. I think.
Get a ground floor.
Yeah. We got a ground floor here, and I see the opportunity. But what I think and this is what I believe in. We have to go on a different route for what LA did or what New York did.
Yeah, right.
Because we have to become our own thing.
Sure.
We have to not necessarily follow the steps of other states that did this already because we're our own people, right? Right now, Georgia is becoming such a diverse city.
100%
state in general.
Yep.
Right? So there's a lot of people from everywhere.
Sure.
So I see the opportunity to build something new. And I see that in the indie community. I see how huge the indie film community here is. Like if you go to the Atlanta Film Festival, you're going to see like amazing movies and projects from people from here.
Yes, right. Exactly.
And then you see the potential. We have studios. We have huge studios here. We have we have the infrastructure. Yeah. We have the crew, the experienced crew that have worked with Marvel, DC, that have been here in Georgia, so they know what they're doing.
Right.
And then we have the talent.
And we have the education too as well.
Yeah, we have the education.
To really reinforce those positions themselves in the state.
We have amazing colleges here that teach acting, film, all of that.
Sure.
So it's like people are here hungry for something more, right?
Yeah.
And I think we haven't found that structure or that formula that works for us, where we won't need necessarily the intervention of LA or the intervention from New York, where we can make our own thing here. Yeah. Right? And I see that potential, and that's where I want to go right now. That's where I want to hit right now, because I see the potential. I see that we got everything that we need.
Right.
We just need to act it out and make it and do it. and take a risk because that's a huge problem. Like we don't have that much original content.
That's right.
From Atlanta.
Sure.
And I think there's so much talent here, Rich. Like not only for the Latino community, I see it everywhere, right? And I'm like, what can we do? I mean, Tyler Perry's doing it amazing. I love what he's doing, you know? He built a whole empire, right? And he's here in Georgia and he make content. And I have lots of friends who've worked with Tyler and it happens here. And I'm like, we can do that more.
Yeah.
And what I'm focusing right now is bringing my Latino community with it, but also not leaving everyone else behind.
Good.
Because I think we build a stronger community when we get all of us together in one room. We build something stronger.
Yep.
And that's where I'm trying to hit right now. And you know, developing Fossil Fuel Café. That's what I want to do. I want to bring different people, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different. Let's make it strong. Let's make a bold choice here, and let's show who we are and how we look like. Because when you go to a cafe, you see a diverse group of people.
That's right.
You don't see one thing, right? So that's what I also want to show. And I also want to show what Georgia has, which is, again, a lot of people are moving from different places here. And I want people to see that and to understand that. And it's been beautiful seeing how a lot of people are connecting with this story, right? Because people ask me, like, Fossil Fuel Café, is it a Latino story? It's not a Latino story.
No, it's an everybody.
It's an everybody story.
Yeah, it's a community story. Yeah.
It happens to have 3 Latino characters in it, but that's it. Everyone else, it's a diverse group, and it connects with everybody. And that's the feedback we've been getting for the stage readings we've been doing. Like, people say, we can see this. People say, this reminds me of 80s and 90s sitcoms, which is what I want to do. I want to bring back that old feel of sitcom.
So I want to be able to laugh heartily again.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, be silly a little bit more, right? Like, I think we're living in times that we just need to laugh.
Yeah.
We need to get back from work, you know, put a TV show, leave it there, laugh, hear the jokes, eat your stuff, you know.
Right.
That's it. It's just something to relax and have fun. It's nothing serious. And that's where I want to start with. I want to start with this project because I think it's going to resonate with so many people.
Sure. Caveat out there, Fossil Fuel Cafe is not for old people, okay? Make sure we got the caveat out there, right? But I think it's extremely important to build community. Let's talk about that a little bit further. But what I want to do is I want folks themselves to identify with you, okay? You're going to have folks themselves listening to this program, seeing this program, all right, and they're going to say, well, how do I get involved? Or I'd like to get a little bit more. I love the enthusiasm, all right, coming from Angel Fabian Rivera. And so I want to get in part of that acceleration, all right, the speed on that, already. I think Georgia, over the many years, I'm touching 30 years in Georgia now, okay, and I'm only 32 years old. Right? Yeah, exactly. You know, so solid 32. The field has changed. All right, you had mentioned something earlier. I think it was extremely important. The players already have either gone. If you even take a look at like late night TV, which we're not going to go into the details themselves because that's on a downslide. They've taken all the humor already out of that entertainment factor of those themselves, that the folks themselves we used to listen. I'm not going to name names or anything else like this, but it diluted, okay, what it is. And unfortunately, there was a hangnail of political already overtone on it. And it got people in trouble, without a doubt. Yeah. But what it did, it extracted the humor and the entertainment out of it already. And I think people are missing that. And I think it was a very important point that what you were saying before, is that people just want to laugh again. I want to laugh, okay? I enjoy a good hearty laughter, you know, but things are changing. And I think maybe as the scene changes, okay, and we get into Act 2, all right, Act 3, Act 4, already, hopefully we see a little bit of greener grass on the other sides. Yeah. You know, I think that's hopefully, you know. Let's talk a little bit more about the indie side of the world, all right, because I think Georgia is really setting themselves up. Atlanta area, all right, down south, okay, things themselves we're doing up here and everything else. Atlanta is really setting themselves up for indie. Some of the past engagements themselves we've been at already through GE and everything else like this and things of this nature, that's Georgia Entertainment. They're talking indie, they're talking new, they're talking refreshing, they're talking opening up new doors, opportunities. And I think folks, for the most part, I think they're extremely excited. All right. So tell me a little bit what you see so far going in the indie world.
So, yes, that is definitely something that I see here getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. I see people who've been creating here for years. I think where we hit it is how do these indie projects have access to the bigger spaces, right? The bigger infrastructures. What are these big studios doing to gravitate and to say, you know what, I trust in your script.
That's right.
Let's go and do it.
That's right, exactly.
I think that's what we're missing here, and that's what I've been seeing. I see a lot of talent. I see a lot of good writing, a lot of good work, and people who have baggage of like, I can show you 10 films that I did, and they're all like, you can see the progress.
Yeah.
But then they're not necessarily getting the opportunity to be just in the room.
Yeah, because
right?
maybe it's if you don't fix yourself in the right perspective or the right box, or you don't have the right bow, the right wrapping, okay, that's going to, unfortunately, and I'm not misguiding this one at all, because I understand the back end property of it, okay, but if it's not going to reach a financial obligation, okay, then we've got a problem here. All right.
Yes. No, you hit it there, because I think a lot of the thoughts of creatives here are just creative.
Yeah.
And we are missing the business side of it. And that is where I'm actually taking it right now. I'm understanding the business side of it even more, because you have to find that balance.
Sure do.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, people need to, where's the money? How are we going to make something out of this idea, right?
That's right.
How are we going to grow this into something and not just leave it in the idea of like, it's going to be amazing. Yes, it can be amazing, but what else can you do?
That's right.
Right. And that's where I'm hitting right now with Fossil. Like, for example, like I wanna show the numbers. I want to show who can watch this, what are people are going to say about this, and where do they see this? What I'm doing that is working is I'm doing these stage readings and recording feedback from the audience.
Love it. Yeah.
And
interaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do they see it? And then I bring this when I go into the room and I say, this is what people are saying. These are the numbers. I can make this work more than just an idea.
Yeah,
and
right.
this is going to make money.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, it's a business, right?
It sure is.
It's a business. It's a film business, right? And again, creatives forget about that idea, right? And I think the indie community, we need to get better in that.
Yeah.
We need to get better in that, which is what A24 did. If you know, A24 Studio started as an independent studio.
Yeah.
They made their way up there. They call themselves an independent studio still, but they've managed to get there, right? They're still making their money, and they're making creative movies, right, with good stories. And I think if we learn from that, we can build an ecosystem here that can work for both sides, for the indie community and for the studios and for people who are bringing the money.
Sure.
Right?
I believe there's enough work around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a mindset. Some of the mindset's got to be changed a little bit. We're in a process. We're now taking from the studio. We're taking projects, all right, and different things to gain levels of support, already, and to look for levels of support too as well. Because I believe if those individuals coming in, I love the ideas. I love the creativity. I love the ambition, and their objectives are there. All right, even though they may be shy in a couple of points here and there. But because of what we're doing and what you've seen, all right, and what the community already is, I believe, reaching out for, all right, I think it's a greater opportunity itself to start taking a look at a different perspective, already, and look at some of these areas, or I keep on calling them opportunities, instead of, and I understand you got to keep the lights on. I understand itself. You got to pay your people and things that it's got to go out. But where is the extension? How do you manage the expectation of this business? How do you manage the expectation of the flow? All right. And I think that's extremely important going forward. We focus on that. You focus on that. All right. But I think it's extremely important to folks themselves that the opportunities are numerous. It's just how you're going to position yourself. All right. And it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a climb. You're gonna fall. You're gonna scrape your knees. It's gonna hurt. All right, Band-Aid is your best friend.
But you gotta continue.
But you just gotta get up and continue again. And that's what I've seen in Angel. That's what I've seen in Mr. Angel Fabian Rivera. From the first time itself that I met you. All right, because I sense the passion, and I sense the way itself, that how you wanted to go to, and you're Sure, but you don't want to put yourself in a bad position anywhere. And I think that's what nobody wants to do. They don't want to put themselves in a bad position all of a sudden, here today, gone tomorrow. And I think that's extremely important. What can we leave our audience with? What is it one thing itself that you're working and developing a relationship, our conversation here, okay? Because a lot of folks themselves they're gonna see this, okay? What's one thing themselves that you would really love to leave with the entire community? We could say Latino community, okay, because that's the focus already, and that where your attention, all right, was broadened and heightened to, all right? But now we're talking about community, all right, the whole entire identification of those individuals themselves that really wanted to get involved, where Atlanta, where Georgia is going, okay? What's one thing you want to leave with folks?
As someone who has been to an audition room and audition for this a typical role of
there was no auditioning here.
The gunman number one, I realized that I just don't want to sit down anymore and wait for the perfect role to come to me, right? Because I do believe that us as Latinos or as any individual out there, we deserve real stories, right? There's real stories, as anybody can be a doctor, right? And we're missing that opportunity. So if you're missing that opportunity and you're craving for something more, you have to go out there and try it yourself, which is something that I battled for years.
Sure.
Because I always said I wanted to be an actor and that's it. And I never saw myself as a writer. I produced and directed years ago, but I never saw myself as a writer. I never saw myself like that. But I saw the problem and I said, you know what? I don't want to sit down anymore and wait for a solution where I can just create one for myself.
Sure.
Yes, I'm falling down. Yes, I'm hitting myself into the wall, but I am learning and I'm getting up from that and continuing. When I go into a room, people assume that I'm writing a Latino show because they see me as Latino and they say, you're writing a Latino show. And that's the moment where I tell them, no, I'm just writing a show that happens to have Latino people in it. It doesn't have to do anything with Latinos. We've been building the audience. We've been building something good with folks that are non-Latinos. Okay. So that tells you a lot that these stories are just universal.
Expanding the opportunity resource.
These stories are just universal. So I encourage everyone, Rich, to go out there and learn. Learn. Be the best version of yourself. And remember that this is a business at the end of the day. Yes, we love creativity, or sometimes we have to put the foot down and say, you know what? We also need to understand the other side. And how do we achieve and how do we find that balance of creative and business, right?
Sure.
Because you're going to go to someone and sell this show. You're going to go to a streaming platform and say, hey, can my movie go there? So you have to have a business, a structure there. And you have to build that from the beginning. That's where I'm at right now.
Sure.
I'm making sure that I have the base to in order to move forward. I'm preparing marketing. I'm preparing, where do I want to go and pitch this show when we shoot it? Which streaming platforms do I see myself in? Which network? How do we make this happen? How do we get more collaborators? It's all about that. It's all about the connection.
Yeah, right.
So again, get out there, do your thing. Don't wait for anybody to give you the opportunity. If you feel like you're not moving, you gotta move yourself.
Yeah.
And you're gonna definitely build something cool. But again, I am here building something cool for the community.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. So please don't be afraid to reach out to me, and we'll find a way to make something cool. If not, we'll become friends and we'll help each other, to promote each other's work. So that's where I want to build here.
Good.
And that's where that's why I want to stay here.
Right.
Because I see the potential, Rich.
Sure.
I think we need to stop following Hollywood. We need to stop following New York. And we have to build our own thing here.
Follow your own heart.
Yes, Georgia is craving for stories.
Yeah,
Georgia is craving to see themselves represented here. And there's a huge community here from everywhere. So this is the moment. So just go out there and do your thing.
Building a mantra from Global Media Studios themselves when we relaunched off of the Rich Hart Global sites. It was, and the tagline itself, bringing stores to life. And I think it's extremely, extremely important. Everybody is built upon a story which they've created, and they were part of the play and the journey, without a doubt. You'll hear me say it all the time, we're that close from being that far away every day, and I think it's extremely important that folks themselves don't sell yourself short. You know?
Yes.
So,
it's one thing that I learned a lot too. Like when I see back everything that I've done, Rich, I'm proud of what I've done and and where I am right now. Of course, it hasn't been easy. Of course, I have my moments.
Yeah.
But, you know, I did a Lionsgate film with Gerard Butler, My Culture. I did a telenovela. You know, I had a theater company back in Puerto Rico. I produced 3 TV shows when I was there in Puerto Rico. I did things that I never imagined I could do. And now I'm ready to take it to the next level and bring everything that I've learned from working in all the different sides of the industry and bring that and build something that's not for now, but for the future that's going to last.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like, for example, what you've been doing here with Global Studios, you know? You build this and it's taken you years to get to where you are right now.
Sure, right now.
But it's about that, right?
I'm still that far away.
Yeah, but it's all about that, right? It's about going for it and trying. And that's where I see myself, Rich. I don't want to build something that's going to go in a second. I want to build something that can last and like for generations and for other people to enjoy. And that's what I'm hungry for. I'm hungry for that connection. I'm hungry for that community, for a collaboration and for Georgia to really succeed.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And they will, without a doubt.
Yeah.
We will prosper. We will kill. We will destroy, you know?
We will. Fossil Fuel Café, you'll watch it soon. I know that.
Angel, one more time, how are they going to be able to reach you?
So I'm very active in social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as Angel Fabian, which is Fabian Rivera, okay, with a V. You can find me there. Hit me out real quick. I have my IMDb. Of course, you can search me with that same name, Angel Fabian Rivera. And my email is always in there. You can click there and you can email me right away. And let's get in touch because I want to build something for, again, like I said, not only the Latino community, but for everybody else. There is a part for all of us there. And if you are having that same thought, if you want to get on this train, please hit me up and join us because this is for everybody. I don't want to close doors here. I want to be able to fill in the gap and bridge that, right?
Yeah, engage.
How do we all get together? How do we make something really cool and really fun that it'll give all of us work, you know?
Good. I love it. Love it.
And let's do something cool. Let's work together. And no matter who you are, again, like come to me and if it doesn't work with me, I'll find the right people.
Angel Fabian Rivera from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Hey, this has been another great opportunity, great show itself by Rich Hart Global Studios, global media out there. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. Check this guy out, Fabian himself. Come to Atlanta, knock on his door. He'll be able to feed you without a doubt. Plantain.
Yes, totones.
Hey, great to see you guys. We'll see you on the next show. Thank you. God bless. Be safe.